Well, a beautiful good morning, everybody. This is Marc back again in the driver's seat. Herman on camera, and welcome to Juma Game Reserve. And I'm a bit out of breath, sure. Super great to be back, and it's such a beautiful sunrise. And I'm out of breath because we're busy changing a wheel, and I was trying to do it as fast as possible. Hello, everyone. Sure. I was trying to do it as quick as possible to be ready by the time we were coming live to you, and well, we just had the puncture just way too soon before we started. The tyre went down within minutes of us stopping to view the sunrise, which is really beautiful this morning. A lot of low-lying mist in the dip around Gowrie Dam. So we're going to send you back to Gowrie Dam. Unfortunately, we're just going to finish changing the wheel quickly. We're sort of halfway done, and we should be done shortly. So we'll see you back in a few minutes. Bye.
Hi everybody, this is Tyre Final Control. So we just wanted to make sure that you could see Marc and obviously check on what he was doing. So we're just going to quickly watch the hippos again, and we'll be back with them just as soon as they've finished.
We're back again, folks, and I've shed all the layers that I started off with because it was a rather cold morning. I suppose I'll have to put them on again in a few minutes. But beautiful sunrise, and we're done. We're ready to go. Let me see. We've got everything out from what was lying around. Put jackets away. I looked like the Michelin Man this morning. No, maybe I didn't look like him. I felt like the Michelin Man. All the layers. The coldest morning I'm experiencing. And now, of course, I'm way overdressed after changing a tyre. Wheels on a Land Rover are pretty heavy, so it's great exercise first thing in the morning. Certainly wakes a person up. Thanks for your help, Herman.
It's a pleasure, Mark. Good morning from behind the camera as well, everybody. It is great to be back in this part of the world, and hoping we're going to see some awesome game.
On east-west cut line, east of Python Road.
Oops.
And Chambi, Nyari, and one comb on Manyaneti boundary. But they headed north into Manyaneti.
Okay, now I've got to find my earpiece for the radio. Actually, I'm going to put my jacket on because I'm getting cold already. We're back. The boys are back in town. With the new jigger, there'll be more space for jackets this winter. Okay, now we can go. Now we can go. So, hello everybody. Hope you didn't miss us too much. Hope you didn't miss us. Talking to Herman when we were changing the tyre. How many kilometers have we just done?
Just over 6,000.
That's close to what, 4,000 miles?
Yeah,
almost.
Sounds about right.
Maybe somewhere around there. How many punctures did you have?
Not a single puncture.
Not a single puncture. I come back.
I drove in worse terrain that we drive on a daily basis.
Well, I drove how many meters? 200. At least it's the start of my cycle and I got a puncture now. Knock on wood. Touch wood. No more. Well, back in Djuma, Derby Sands, see what things are different. Grasses are flowering again, this bottle brush grass. An Impala ram. I guess we missed the bulk of the rutting. So actually that was nice. Let me go back a bit. That was quite a nice shot. That mist behind them. Standing proud. No, don't move. He's injured. Front left, probably from fighting. More than likely pulled a muscle or something. Oh, we'll see if we can get that shot again. Let me go a bit forward. Got a bit self-conscious because we're looking at him. Maybe he thinks we're challenging him. Could well be he's just been ousted. When an Impala gets injured in a fight, it means that the fight was pretty intense. It means that there were two equally matched males, neither one wishing to acquiesce, neither one wishing to give way easily. So as strong as the drive to be dominant and to mate. Morning, mobiles.
Yeah, there's just drove on East West Catland close to Galago site, and Shambi, Nyari, and one Kombe. Python Road Junction, Manyeleti boundary west of Jordan, but they headed north into Manyeleti.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
The light changes so quickly here.
Stand by, Benny. Here's the Gala coloring.
Okay, go ahead.
Corner direction somewhere on the boundary. I'm also looking for the area, but they would, I think, those who started
So there were a few things that I'm keen to follow up on. One thing, Tari can help me. What happened to the zebra? How long did we have the zebra stick around here on quarantine? Because I heard a zebra. Oh, they were here yesterday. A group of 13 that were here from Arethusa, that preferred the likes of quarantine to Arethusa. Morning, Impala. Did you miss me? I guess not. Not like they're all running towards me with their tails wagging. Beautiful morning light. Typical wintry sky, not a cloud in the sky. Sky blue colors. Shades of blue. From very pale on the horizon through, not so deep blue up ahead. Got this crisp clean air, just making beautiful light as the sun starts rising. Go with the question? I'll go with the question. And sorry, who was that? Morning, Jay. Did I get my toes in the water? Well, briefly, very briefly. It was actually quite dangerous being on a rocky coastline with excessively high swells and gale force winds. Almost 99% of the time I was on the coast. And Herman, your question from Jay on for you.
Jerry, thank you very much for the question.
Jerry.
I think it was Jerry.
Oh.
Tari just confirmed, Jerry.
Oh, I thought it was Jay. Sorry, Jerry.
Namibia was absolutely awesome, and the wedding was very, very, very cool. I'm sure there's going to be some photos out soon, and it was just an amazing experience altogether, driving through so many different landscapes and ending my holiday off in the northwestern part of Namibia, in a place called Damaroland. Driving around riverbeds there and camping there for 2 nights as well. But the wedding was very, very beautiful, and Lishan looked very, very beautiful.
Let's move along. See you later, children. They might have been huddled up during the night. Easy parlour, starting to wake up and browse. I'm seeing a lot of fresh burrow work. There must be a lot of rodents and smaller mammals that make that. Some of the burrowing creatures that are modifying their burrows, getting a little bit deeper now with the colder temperatures. So I wonder where we should go. Okay, go ahead. Morning, Sandy. Thanks for the welcome back. Morning, boys. Oh, this Impala is looking nice and strong. So he's still maybe a bit young to be challenging for a position. Sandy was asking what are the reasons why an elephant is likely to go to become a rogue behavior that's outside the bounds of normal behavior. Sandy, it depends on whether it's acting up towards other elephant or acting up towards humans, because if it's acting up towards human, invariably the reason is because of human interference. Humans that have impacted on an elephant to such an extent that an elephant no longer trusts and starts to create a serious dislike for human presence and vehicles. There are actually many things that can cause an elephant to become a so-called rogue, delinquent, unruly. And I suppose one of the main reasons is lack of parental care or maternal care, lack of adult guidance. I mean, we see it in many social species where discipline is quite an important facet of their lives. It doesn't happen very often, as far as I know, in the animal world, but every now and then, rather. An elephant that doesn't take to disciplining within the herd becomes somewhat of a social outcast, and in that status, still being driven by hormones and testosterone. Invariably it's a bull, by the way, not that often that you get a female, but sometimes you do. You'll get a cow that will become rogue because of attempts on its life by hunters, poachers. Injury from human or human-inflicted injury will cause an elephant to go absolutely wild. They're incredibly intelligent beings. And being rather intelligent, something happens to an elephant, it knows exactly what has happened to it. Anyways, we're on Weaver's Nest. I think we're just gonna, let me think, yeah, I think we'll just head south on Weaver's Nest for now. No Juma vehicle behind us. That's poor Jackalberry, but failed. Sorry, go ahead, Tara. Morning, Cindy. Thanks for the welcome. How are your plants doing? Mine aren't. Get to that later in the drive. Just looking at tracks, looks like a civet that was walking here. Brrr. Now I'm cooling down. It's time to put layers back on. Maybe start with keeping my neck warm. Gosh, didn't even get time to acclimatize to the cold. So they went straight from wearing shorts yesterday to winter suddenly. All of a sardine, as they say in the classics. So, Sandy, still on the subject of elephants becoming aggro. I mean, when it comes to human beings, because there has been and there will be conflict between elephants and humans. The longer humans want to take away an ecosystem and put in a monoculture, subsistence farming, or even crop farming, there's going to be conflict with elephants when it is done within the confines of their area, within the confines of the natural environment. And as far as elephants are concerned, well, anything that grows is up for anybody's consumption. Nature provides it, it's there for the use of everybody in nature. So when we as humans grow fields of maize or pumpkins or whatever the crop may be, elephants seem to think that they have their fair shares with, or they're entitled to it. It's their land too. Of course, humans don't understand that mentality of the elephant. The elephant don't understand the mentality of humans growing so much food and not needing it all. So there is a constant battle between humans keeping elephants off of their crops and elephants trying to get to the crops. And that has started making elephants a little bit aggro in some parts of the world. India, or other parts of Asia, most of Africa, where elephants do occur. Hyena tracks. And it's normally the means that people use to chase elephants away that really make elephants irritable, and it doesn't take very long for an elephant to be injured and then to want to take it out on the humans, and that's when an elephant can become a rogue and become a little bit more destructive than elephants are meant to be, put it mildly. In some parts of Asia they're actually breaking into homes now because they've learned that, and this is one thing about an elephant, once it learns that it is bigger and stronger and capable of physical damage, that mud hut walls are merely that, mud huts, they can break them easily, well, there's a problem, because an elephant will continue to do so. It's going to pause during this dip. Nice being back in the bush again, I have to tell you. After driving highways, and gosh, highways are double the size they were the last time I was driving them 6 months ago. And it's no joke, they really are double the size. They were 2 lanes 6 months ago, now they're 4 lanes each way. And just as full of traffic. One wonders where it all comes from. Herman and I left Johannesburg yesterday, virtually in peak hour traffic, and I said, well, not that bad, we have to do it once in a blue moon. Some of those people in the city have to do it every single day. I can't understand it all, but it's how life works, I guess. And Sandy, if I think of any other things while I'm driving about elephants becoming rogue, I'll mention it. But generally speaking, oh gee, giant big false marula that's gone down since we were on leave. This one here. The death of a tree, the death of a giant. Leaves are wilting a little bit, so it hasn't gone down too long ago by the looks of things, but it might survive for a while. Some trees do when they're on the ground, if their roots are still intact in the ground, on some of their main tap roots. Still on Weaver's Nest, by the way. I think we'll go down towards Twin Dams. Into the mist. Maybe we'll find something mysterious. I think why it's called a mystery or mysterious, because it comes out of the mist. See if we can find elephants in the mist. Morning, doves. There's Rex's two doves. There we go. I think we're going to have a nice morning. Remain. Turning east on Gary Main. Sandy, excuse me. Another natural reason why elephants are likely to, kind of word this carefully and diplomatically, because I don't want to put elephants in a bad light, but a natural reason why elephants are likely to turn rogue and cause a bit of excessive aggression or aggressive displacement. The dental replacement in elephants, the whole way elephants' tooth replacement works, the 6 sets of teeth they have in their lives, coupled with the very, very, very deep root system of the tusks, the incisor teeth, means that elephants are frequently plagued with dental problems. We have our baby teeth, and then we get our adult teeth, and then we maybe later on get our wisdoms cutting at the back that can cause problems. Elephants throughout their lives have got this constant movement of teeth through the jaw, and with the kind of vegetation that they eat, with the fact that their teeth fragment as they move forward in the jaw to be replaced by the newer set of teeth. There are pressures on the root of the tusks when an elephant is in must. There are various things that happen in the skull of an elephant that can cause intense toothache, and it has been found that many an elephant that has turned rogue, that has caused damage to man and his property, have been the result of elephants having severe toothache and abscesses in the jaw. Excuse me a moment. packaging tape. Elephants are getting FedEx parcels these days. Or maybe it's the lion. They're getting meat imported by, what's the other, the DHL. Couriered antelope packages from Kenya. Spider web.
The lens.
No, it's just, it's a gossamer strand blowing off the microphone. It looks quite nice in the light. Buffalo tracks. There were buffalo here at Twin Dams recently. Some old elephant tracks. There's still a golden orb. Let's have a look at that in the early morning light. This very fine mist, obviously wetting the grasses and wetting spider webs. Let's see. Slight angle on it. How's that looking? She's one of the diehards. Still hanging in there. Cold temperatures like this are what kill the golden orbs. Drive them to lay their eggs. And they just kind of go into a cold stupor and then eventually die or get eaten by something. As long as they're on the web, they're safe, but when they get very, very cold and almost immobile, the web gets knocked. When they get knocked out of the web, that's when they're very vulnerable to, gosh, even ants, other spiders, wasps, birds, because they can no longer, not able to move in the cold, and they just this big little package of protein.
See a little male moving there in the front.
Yeah, that's one of the kleptoparasitic spiders. The one that's up now in the middle at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the small kleptoparasitic spiders. I don't think it's a male. It's a bit too small. One of the dewdrop spiders. Spinning its own little scaffolding just off of her main web so that it can steal her prey. Or steal smaller items in her web and swing them off onto its own scaffolding of web. It's so small that she doesn't feel the vibrations of the smaller spider. Also because it's on its own very, very fine silk scaffold. No, sorry Tara, I'm not copying you. Just getting static.
I'm not copying her at all either.
We just, it's just the area we're in. Let's move past Twin Dams and we'll get radio comms again.
Little bit of yourself to worry about. Good, thank you. Cut line north of. I'm close by all the physical now. I will join you soon.
Henry, come in.
Moving along.
Henry wasn't copying. What's up at Oldham PC Fire?
We can copy you at 6 Ngala, physical, all the physical at cut line.
Copy, thanks. Sounds interesting. Lion. In our midst.
In our midst.
Lion in the midst. in our midst.
What was that lion film called?
Pardon?
Bad signal area. But what was that film called? Lions in Dark.
Yeah, the one about the man-eaters at Tara.
Yeah.
Ghost in the darkness, thanks Tara. Well,
Yeah,
we
there were
got
gorillas in the mist.
with gorillas, yeah. Jane Goodall. I'm not Jane Goodall. Diane Fossey. Gorillas in the mist. There's still a couple of golden orbs I'm seeing, but yeah, now we're gonna go to pretty close to the Oldham PC Kaya up on Cheetah Cut Line. And I've just learned that there's some lion up there. So we're going to actually use third gear for a minute or two rather than just a second. Wishful thinking going up the slope. I have to say it's nice being back behind the wheel of a Land Rover. My first 2 days in Cape Town I was behind the wheel of a, I don't know, must have been about a 30-year-old VW Beetle, a red one. Cheapest car hire in Cape Town, it's called Fun Car Hire. You can hire beach buggies, we call them beach buggies, they're called Baja Bugs. Or dune buggies, that's what they are, dune buggies in the States. And I got a Beetle. And then I borrowed a friend's little Suzuki Jeep.
The Suzukis are fun, eh?
It was fun. I was hoping that the weather would brighten up, that I could take the roof off and the back off. With a semi-convertible. The weather wasn't even good enough to drive in with a closed car, never mind an open car. Okay, go. I'm not driving fast at all. It's an illusion. If anything, I've been driving ultra slow. Just this last few minutes I actually managed to get to third gear briefly. Monty, shalom. Shalom aleichem. V'ma shlomcha. Station with Ngala, Oldham PC Kaya. Marc here, may I join you?
Yeah, sure, Mark.
Drag Marc.
No, sure, Mark. Oh. Sorry.
Somebody was walking on these drag marks. Elephant tracks. Seems to be quite a bit of fresh activity here. Let's see, where are we with these lines? Because in that track, somebody was walking here. Monty, I'll get to poisonous spiders. Well, they're not poisonous, they're venomous. I'll get to venomous spiders. Monty wants to know if we have any venomous spiders. Well, actually, before I see these live, I can answer that. We have the widows, the brown and black widows, Latrodectus species. We have violin spiders, on account of the shape of a violin on their back. They are actually at the old hyena den. I hope we're going to get signal here. Sometimes we get a broken signal at the bottom there. Sac spiders, SAC, sac spiders. Another deeply cytotoxic venom spider. Oh gosh, look at that. They're right at the den. This is beautiful. Oh, this one female's got a bit of swollen cheek.
Yeah, visual. Oh, there they are.
try and find a position. There's a lot of vegetation in the way.
I'm gonna get it just now. Good.
This is gonna be for now. We'll be able to move into a better position. If they do. Oops, right on top of the termite mound. Right at the top of the termite mound. Can we go back maybe, Herman?
That's alright.
Oh, there's a little boy up there by the looks of things.
Huh?
No picture.
No picture.
Yeah, back. Young male in the foreground. You can see his Mohican hairstyle with the beginnings of his mane coming through. You know the temperatures and the weather is changing. When the sun starts rising and the lion starts seeking out the sun rather than hiding from it.
Can't hear. What did you say?
A little bit overexposed. She's a sorry cat, that one. I believe the sticks have been around for some time now, and I'm sure something has changed in the dynamics of the lion in the northern part of the Sabi Sand. I'm assuming this is the sticks. I'm guessing more than assuming. Not easy to see. We've got two other vehicles with us at the moment, and it seems that they are in that spot that we look down towards the mouth of the den from the old hyena den. So we just taking a back seat at the moment.
It could be Gurulas Mapipa. Okay, that would be left slowly.
Go ahead. Tara, go ahead. Okay, copy. Much of a view. I'm going to see if we can move again. Try and get a bit of glimpse through the bushes here. Or seeing movement in the vehicle, maybe they're going to move. Just a reminder to everybody that questions can be sent to finalcontrol@safari.tv, and I will do my best to answer them promptly and efficiently.
You just said safari.tv. Final control at safari.tv. You just said safari.tv.
No, I said final control.
Oh, sorry.
Final control at safari.tv. Final control. Yes. A little bit difficult to speak up because we do have people recording this on their video cameras. I don't want to be too loud for the guests. I'm not too sure if it's the stick. At the moment I'm seeing the one young male at the top of the termite mound who's now flat on his side. Looks like a young female that went up there, and it looks like the female down here at the mouth of the den. I'm guessing it's the sticks on account of where they are and the fact that the sticks have been around recently.
Oh. We found a gap.
Huh? Oh, you found a gap. Looks like this is one of the lioness that's at the mouth of the entrance to the den. Something attracted her attention there. She looked very interested in something. Got a bit of a limp on her front left. Let's see if we can get to the back of the den, maybe get a view from the back of the den now that they're on the top of the mound. The jackalberry is in the way. Okay, go ahead. So I just got to change glasses here for a minute. Getting a bit too bright for me. Morning, Jules. How are you, Jules? In the UK? How long does it take for a male to grow his mane? Well, they start getting even fluffy around the ears from 6 months, sometimes even earlier. And by 3 years old, there's a distinct fluffiness around the head. But the mane is only really full at about 5 years old. Yep, there?
Yeah.
Just as soon as we get a gap, the lion moves. And this. Okay, we're gonna move again.
Yeah, it's Benny.
Okay, Henry's moving, so we're gonna see maybe we can move again and get a better view. Want to try? Oh, look at that! We'll get through that group, that young male, through that gap.
No, I'm just too high.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit too high. That young male and that young female.
Wait.
Just looking over his shoulder. There we go, bird, finch.
Still getting there.
There isn't very much space up there. It's very, very narrow pinnacle to this big termite mound. Okay, go ahead, Tara. Yeah, I copied the question about lion with a full mane, but too much crackling with the rest of the state, whatever it was. Okay, copy. Hello, Jamie. Jamie's asking if we've ever seen a lion with a full mane. We do have several big males in the area. Most noticeably. Most notably.
Leading to station in lock of the Ngala,
Most notably, as I'm saying, are the Mapocho males, of which 2 of them we see periodically. Sorry, I just had to listen to the radio there for a minute. Jamie. Sorry, Jamie, not Jerry. Then we have we have 2 males that come down from Manuleti that we call the Gajima males. They've got 2 very big manes. Beautiful big male lions. And there's been another coalition of 5 males. Some of them are not very big yet. Some of them are fantastically large in size. They're going to be still growing their manes fully. The mane comes out at 5, but it still continues to grow. So a male by the age of 7, 8 years old is a majestic animal. Incredibly so. Okay, we're going to move again into the position where Henry was and hopefully find a view that's not too obstructed. Maybe not. Better where we were. Morning. How are you? Hi, James. Pardon? Oh, really?
Hog in the hole.
Ah. Well, I can actually see it. Try and get the camera into the hole. Is that okay?
That's good. That's good.
Oh, and this is as good as a mile. Just learning now from Bernie that there's something in the burrow, porcupine or a warthog.
Oh, that's definitely water.
You can see something there. There's an ear.
Yeah.
Warthog.
Mm-hmm.
Cats are kind of... Cats are hiding on top of the mound, hoping this warthog's going to rush out and they can have some breakfast. Okay. Let me just move and let Bernie out of here. Do this. Okay. It's going to go the other way. This might be interesting later. Hello, boss. No.
Enjoy, guys. There's a quill. Porcupine quill.
Alright, now we got a better view. We got a view of the whole scenario. Let's just see if I can position better. We're going to have other vehicles maybe moving in. I don't want to be in the way too of the How's that, Herman?
That's pretty good, Mark. Your head, you're just going to have to watch your
Pretty
head.
good. Okay, now unfortunately we're the only ones here and I'm obliged to keep the radio up. So we're going to have... How are you? Good, thanks. Evidently a warthog in the burrow. Pardon?
How many pimpons?
No, I've only seen 3 lions so far. Too much noise on the radio, but I have to listen to it, I'm afraid. Okay, I can hear something about one of Karula's Mampimpon. So one of the reasons why these cats are on top of the termite mound is that they're trying to be away from the mouth of the den. The warthog is in the den, facing outwards. It doesn't look like it's in very deep, and this warthog is going to want to dash out of there. Somehow it's sort of a test of patience. These cats are all trying to crowd the top of the termite mound, hoping that as soon as there's movement down below, they've got the advantage of being able to leap off of the termite mound at the warthog. The warthog hoping that it can maybe make a rush for it, but not knowing where the lion are makes it a little bit difficult for the warthog. 1, 2, 3, okay, I see 4 cats now. I've seen many occasions with lion and leopard intimidating warthog to the point of them rushing out of a warthog, out of the burrow. I've seen an entire family of 5 warthog being taken by a pride of lion down in the Sabi Sands, southern part of the Sabi Sands, many years ago. A whole pride hung around the mouth of the den until the adults rushed out, and of course they were taken down one by one, and then they were followed by the 3 piglets who had absolutely no chance. One of the female lions actually killed 2 of the piglets within seconds of each other. She picked one up, shook it, and grabbed the other one and shook it within seconds. Quite a shocking sight, actually.
You can go back a bit, and they can. Can't they come in a bit?
Yeah. Let me move back. Let's see if we can. I'm going to move back a bit. Maybe.
Okay, well.
Not watching me. Okay, Tara, fire a question away. Morning, Gloria, or good evening, Gloria, in Texas. First thing that comes to mind, Gloria, and you must be very lucky because you've had a song made in your honor. Van Morrison's Gloria comes to mind when I hear your name. Love that song. Gloria's asking if the lion know that the warthog is there. Oh, I see movement in the burrow. Yes, they do. In fact, that's the reason why the lion are here. A little bit earlier, when we were in another position looking through the bushes, we saw that one female get up and she looked very intently down towards the mouth of the burrow. So they not only can smell it, they can hear the movement in there, and they are waiting for any chance that this warthog is going to rush out and maybe get a chance to catch it. Now, it's probably not the first time that these lions have got a warthog in a burrow. And cats are incredibly patient. Warthogs got to come out. Time for warthog to wake up and feed. They normally come out of their burrow during the day to forage and roll in the mud. Being predominantly diurnal creatures, it's unusual to have a warthog still in its burrow this time of the day. But it is there because the lion probably found it before daybreak, and as long as the lion are around, the warthog's going to be in this sort of half mind to run and half mind to stay, and we're going to see what the brain of the warthog does, whether it's going to make a run for it or whether it's going to stay tucked in there.
Just let me know if there is any place.
The sun's actually going to shine as it rises. It might shine deeper into the burrow. Not too sure we'll be able to get a better view. Every now and then I see an ear flick. Okay, shoot. Question from Jamie. Of course, Jamie. Jamie's asking whether the warthog knows that the lion is there. Well, most definitely, Jamie. The one lioness had her face right in the burrow earlier. But the reason why the warthog is tucked in there is because the lion is here. So very definite yes there, Jamie. The warthog does know about the lion. Can hear. It's okay. Not only can the warthog smell them, but it can hear them moving around in the grasses. I think Abel's trying to find a position here. Pretty much like us, maneuvering to try and get. Abel, come in. Now maybe if you come around this side and fall.
Try a little later on, so that's got to spend more time to do a ruler for us inside, so thank you very much. Yeah, Henry, if you copy me, I'm pulling up. Good, thank you.
Confirm Karula on quarantine.
I'm going there to check it, so I'll let you know if something happened there.
Okay, copy. Did somebody find one of them on Pimpan this morning?
No, to Waroni. Can hear the Gao Kalash team between somewhere.
Okay, thanks, Info. Leopard activity around camp on account of a lot of monkeys shouting. There's the young male with his mane beginning to grow, his little Mohican. Beautiful view of him now. Fluff around the ears, his chest starting to get a bit hairy. Peggy. Good question there, Peggy. Wouldn't the warthog be able to run faster and longer, further than the lion? Very much so. Unfortunately, the lion, well, it's difficult. There's a very deep drainage line right in front of the entrance to the den where this warthog is. So if it's going to run out, it's going to run straight into a very deep gully, and it's very dense vegetation, which is going to slow it down tremendously. It can run and do an immediate right turn out onto the road, but that's going to slow it down tremendously. It's kind of a bit of a catch-22 here. If there was open ground, this warthog would be out of there and it would be far enough away before the lion can react. And if this was, say, a burrow on quarantine or on flatter ground, perhaps even the other hyena den that we've had, where there's a lot more open ground. Here we are in a drainage line. It's relatively dense vegetation. It's going to slow this warthog down way too much. If it bolts out of there right now, it's going to bolt straight into... Well, also, the lion are going to be up off of that termite mound so fast that as the warthog hits the vegetation and gets slowed down by the vegetation, unfortunately the lion will catch up with it. And these are things that do come into play. It's not it's something that the warthog has probably calculated in his head a few times, trying to decide whether it's going to be able to make it or not. But the lion have the upper hand. They are on top of the termite mound. They are lightning quick in their reactions, and they're able to fly off of that termite mound as soon as they hear any action coming out of the burrow. I don't know if we had sort of a bit of a long shot to show where the burrow is in relation.
Mm-hmm.
So we have seen that. Oh, it's getting chilly now. I have to put another layer on. Jamie, please don't apologize, and it doesn't sound dumb at all. In fact, that's quite quite a good question, that one, Jamie. Jamie's asking, why doesn't the lion just go into the hole and get the warthog out? Well, Jamie, the reason why that can't happen is because the warthog has a set of weapons on its face that can severely injure a lion, mortally injure a lion, especially around the face and neck area. The warthog has... we're getting a few vehicles coming in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stay for very long. Andre.
Oh, warthog's coming out. Warthog is coming out.
Warthog's coming out. Look at the size of those tusks. Okay. These are inexperienced lion. See, I'm chatting away and saying hello to Andre. That was a huge warthog. Did a right turn. The lion weren't exactly fast enough. But I tell you something, this lion hesitated because of the size of those tusks.
That
was a
warthog.
huge male warthog. And I don't think any of these lion here, these are youngsters. I can still hear that warthog running through the bushes. The lion are after it. I didn't even hear a squeal. They're coming back now. There's no way, even 4 of them wouldn't take it down. Here's an adult female. 2, 3, 4. All 4 of them. One youngster is looking a little really scraggy and mangy. I think that was the one we saw just before I went on leave with this young male. I think we're going to go and see. Now, Jamie, I don't know if you noticed, but as that warthog came out of the den, the size of those tusks, that's the reason why the lion couldn't get anywhere near it, because the den was probably just a little bit bigger than the warthog, and while the top pair of tusks are very blunt, there's a bottom set of tusks that are extremely sharp, like a stiletto blade, that can rip the face of an... It is just incredible how adept they are at using those weapons. Could be that there's the rest of the family in the den. Could be that there's more than just the big boar that was there. But they must have summed it up very quickly that the size of him and his tusks was probably just not worth having a rough and tumble down the side of that termite mound into the gully. I don't even think they laid a paw on him. Here comes the young male to investigate now. Very, very wary of the mouth of the burrow. No, maybe not too wary about the mouth of the burrow. Just going there to check to see if there's maybe another warthog down the burrow, down the bottom. Remember, this is live, everyone. Happening as we see it, you're watching. Djuma Game Reserve, Safari TV. If only the world knew we just had an almost lion kill live on TV. Lion are looking a bit skinny. Skinny only because they haven't been eating. Not skinny because they're malnourished. Skinny because they're hungry. One lucky warthog. And that's why warthog don't go in the burrows head first, because then the lion would be able to go in there and drag it out. This lioness hoping that something else is going to come out.
There's still a porcupine in there.
Pardon?
They said there's a porcupine still in there.
Porcupine as well. Well, could be. Porcupines do share their burrows with warthogs. This male is now digging at another entrance to the burrow. It's behind that raisin bush, but he's digging out another entrance, maybe trying to intimidate, if there is anything else in there, trying to intimidate whatever else there may be. Somebody mentioned something, or maybe it was Bernie, mentioned something about a porcupine. I'm seeing a porcupine quill on the road. There is definitely a porcupine in the area. Franklin's shouting in the background. They were disturbed by the warthog running away. I don't know what's disturbing them now. Warthogs have a very high-pitched squeal, just like pigs do when they get caught. So, although we didn't see it, there's clearly no indication of him even being injured. We would have heard him squeal if they'd later got a claw into him. But I think they were just all too shocked by the size of him. Peggy wants to know if warthog make any kind of warning noise. And yes, they do. They have a grunt. It doesn't have to be that loud. Warthog generally tend to be in the same area in the family, well, very close to each other when they're in their family groups. And warthog are not that interested in a warning call that everybody else is going to hear. Invariably they in their small family group, so it's merely a very low grunt that is audible mostly to just the warthog around them, unless there's impala close by. But impala invariably being higher in stature, more likely to see something before the warthog and give an alarm call first. But when warthog are alone, often when you're walking and you bump into warthog, we hear them give their alarm grunt. That's very interesting. Thanks, Brian. And Brian giving some information from Karen Dudley, who's as closely associated with the White Lion Project, and saying that one of the white lion males developed a technique of going into a burrow and digging warthog out, going in upside down, I think. Be interested to read what that's about. Thanks, Brian. That is very interesting. I've seen cats hunting warthog and in this manner, crowding a termite mound, or even just a single leopard sitting at the mouth of the burrow to the point where the warthog rushes out. I've seen this many times, but I've never seen a cat go in after a warthog. The little one was nervous as the male sort of gave a nervous start as the male jumped to the top of the termite mound. Very typically where he is now, from the top looking down at the burrow, that's normally where a cat, I've seen leopard wait in those situations, waiting just above the entrance so that they can rush out. These lion got a little bit too complacent, they got a little bit too relaxed. Look at her, she's trying to bite the roots, trying to make the hole bigger. Mike is asking about the number of lions in the Styx Pride. Mike, I've only just come back. I can't answer your question at this stage. We've got 4 individuals here, so I'm not too sure about the status of the Styx at this stage. Herman and I got in late last night, virtually went straight to bed and woke up for game drive this morning, so we do have a lot of catching up to do, and well, I'll keep you posted with that, find out what's happening with the Styx Pride. We don't know at this stage where the rest of them are. They might be around here. Franklin are making a noise all around us. So I don't know if it's other Franklins reacting or whether there is something else moving around, more lion. There were drag marks up on cheetah cut line. I don't know if that was part of the prize. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't get the name. Okay, and I'm not too sure when I started what, today, or I'm not too sure what data means. Dadu asking what did I not know about lion, or what have I learnt about lion since starting? I'm not too sure. I don't quite understand the question. I mean, this morning I learned something new about lion. This is the beauty of nature, is that every day you're with an animal, you learn something new. Because one can never know everything. One can never know. their lives are so complex. We can only ever get glimpses into their lives, and we're constantly learning about new things about their behavior, about their techniques, tactics, lives. Nothing also, I mean, nothing is really ever so cut and dry that you can say what goes for this pride of lion will be the same for another pride of lion. I mean, every pride behaves differently. Every pride has a different composition of adults and youngsters, and that dictates different behavior and different feeding techniques, different feeding habits. But Daddy, I'm not sure if you mean when it's between now and when I started guiding. I mean, pretty much everything I know I've learned since I started guiding. I obviously knew a lot about lion before I started professionally guiding, but not nearly as much as I know now, on account of every time one watches them there's new stuff happening. It's as though there's something in this long grass that this young female's been after. She's been sniffing around there for a couple of minutes now. Interesting, that one, Peggy. The warthog's smart enough to pull the lions away from the den if the rest of the family's in the den. I don't think it really comes down to that, Peggy. As we've seen, the lion aren't really willing to leave the den, just in case. I'm pretty sure there probably is something in there. But I guess what you may be meaning is, will the warthog come back and try and entice them away? No, definitely not. That kind of altruism doesn't exist. Under the circumstances, it's each to his own. There are times when a warthog will try and defend her young, especially against a leopard or a cheetah, yes. And under the circumstances, only a full warthog would come back near a group of lion, because if it was one or two, it might be a different story. There's 4 of them. There might even be more. I'm not too sure. But with 4 of them, he would be in too much danger. As long as he was running and he disappeared, they're not going to run after him. They're not going to waste their energy. They had a moment when they could have got him, but they didn't. They hesitated. Go ahead.
Yeah, Marc, Andre from the Lost TV. Just wanted to know if you've got channel 3 or the general channel.
I do. I'm on our Zoomer channel at the moment.
Okay, copy. Yeah, if you could just communicate with them on that lock, because I know he's got a couple of other guys from his side responding.
Okay, copied. Will do.
Thanks very much.
Andre,
How's Marc?
how you doing?
Okay, so
Very good, thanks.
just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of the Kanka on Triple M North.
On where?
The Triple M North.
Oh, okay, copied. No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, they came off our airstrip on that side.
Sort of near Gary Main Junction.
Yeah, FM.
What direction headed?
Northerly.
Interesting. Mark, can check that out. There's a bit of a signal problem there.
Okay, copy. Okay, alright.
got sticking some pinpoints here on the 12 meter try. Land until copy Junior, shot me down there now.
Andrew, I'm going back to channel 2. Where was I? What was I saying? I believe there's some cheetah heading up Triple M from Arathusa towards Gary Main Junction. Be interesting to go and try and find that. I think we should try that. I'm just worried that we're going to miss something here. And this is when one has to try one's patience, test one's patience, whether one is as patient as a catch. There are more warthog in this burrow. Warthog are not as patient as cats. Warthog are going to try and run. These cats are not too comfortable here either, so I'm thinking that maybe they are waiting for something to happen, something else to come out. The way that young male was digging, he seems to think that there's something still in there. And it's when they settle down and relax and they're not moving around too much, that's when the animal inside the burrow is likely to make a dash for it. Of course, if there's a porcupine in there, it's not going to move. It's not going to. No way as a porcupine during daylight is going to be intimidated by a predator. Much the same way as the warthog goes in backwards to keep its weapons facing forwards, so the warthog, or rather the porcupine, goes in forwards to keep its weapons facing backwards, because it's just the way the weapons work. Carol. Hello, Sapiwe. Sapiwe just came through on the radio with a question from Carol. Are we part of the Kruger Park or are we autonomous? We are part of Kruger, but we are also autonomous. And the private area of Lusabi Sand is, as far as the animals are concerned, part of Kruger National Park, but as far as the human part of Kruger is concerned. There are no roads linking the Sabi Sand. Well, there's one, but you're not allowed to, no one's allowed to drive it because it's at the edge of the airstrip of the old Kukuza airport. But there's no vehicle movement between Kruger Park and the Sabi Sand. There's only animal movement between the two. So there are no boundaries for animals, but there are boundaries for humans. That being government national park and this being private game reserve area. Can't quite get the end of your question there, Carol. Maybe Safiwa, if you could repeat it. Oh, okay, thanks. Carol, I'm not too sure what the rules are about day visiting. We have had people pop in for the day. Penny and Bobby Legg came in and visited us. But you can't get to us from Kruger. You have to get to us from outside Open Gate. So you would have to leave Kruger through Open Gate and come around the Manyaleti Reserve to get into the Sabi Sand, and pay separate gate fees and entrance fees at the Sabi Sand gate. But yeah, as I say, there's no vehicle movement between Kruger. Carol's saying that they're in Kruger at the end of the week. Carol, if you look at, let me know what part of Kruger you're going to be in, which camps you're going to be staying at. Andre, come in. You're getting warm because you're in the sun.
You're cold.
I'm getting cold because I'm down here in the shade. Herman's taking layers off and I'm thinking I must put another layer on. And we're on the same vehicle, we're 2 feet away from each other. But I'm actually in his shadow.
Ranger for you.
They're on another channel. So they're not copying me. Henry, come in.
Sorry, by Marc?
Did you hear about Skankan?
Yeah, but I'm just leaving Second Rock now. I don't know where is the Skankan.
Triple M heading north.
Copy, thank you. I will try.
Okay, you can keep me posted. I'm still with Ngala.
So thank you, Marc. And I left Hinton and left Triple M north towards approaching the Impala Road from Triple M over. One station so far. So thank you. I'm just leaving Second Rock now. I will slowly try to go and check.
Morning, well, thank you.
I'm driving back now. Thank you. See you in my job. For sure.
Well, see what's happening with this young female. I'm still convinced that there's something in that hole.